Okay, hi, good day, good morning still. Um, Happy to be here. I've been feeling like I just never get a chance to have like a full dialogue about things, like questions and things. So, because I have all these little mini conversations, and it's like, oh, and I just don't ever get to fit in what I need, what I want to like be able to share. So, I'm hoping that this live and possibly some others, if I like, maybe I'm going to do it again, not committing, but I'm just saying it's possible that this could happen again next week around the same time. And I want to be able to have some more dialogue, some more conversation here. And I would love like you to have an opportunity to show up with questions or put them in the comments beforehand or something, and I can respond to them on these. And so if you can't be here live, so kind of like thinking about getting something like that started. Hi Cody. Hi Johnny. Long time no see. How are you? This wasn't the plan to do like celery juice, and I'm sorry if that's boring or something, but it's happening because that's what needs to happen in my schedule right now, because I didn't have it this morning, and I like to have it every day, and so maybe I'll have a chance to talk about it. But since you're here and whoever shows up here, like if you have something that's up, if you've got something you're dealing with, you're welcome to bring it to the table, and we'll see what we can do with it. See what happens. See if we can't talk about it. Oh, that was Precious. She likes to be part of these things. She seems to know when someone's watching. So yeah. So I haven't had celery juice yet today. I like to have it every day. So I'm gonna take a minute to talk about celery juice. Precious, I think you got cat hair on it. And so this is celery I get in bulk. As you can see, it's a lot, and I know it's a lot, and I know it's daunting even. Like it's just like too much sometimes to think about having to juice celery. But and you know what? If it wasn't doing something for me, I wouldn't be doing it, right? Like this is like total pain in the ass. Like this case, I bought it in bulk and by case. Sometimes it's great. Sometimes it's freaking dirty, like muddy, and it's just like, it's like I'm like, it's just miserable, just dealing with it. But and sometimes it's not so bad and it's easy, and sometimes it tastes really bad, and sometimes it's okay, and sometimes it costs $100 for a case, and sometimes it's 25. So and I go and I have to get it and all the things. And I used to go to Costco, is one way to do it. If you're curious about celery juice, and maybe you will be after today, check out Trader Joe's. Sometimes we'll have some organic celery, and so Costco has organic celery already like cut and kind of ready, and that's really nice and convenient. So if you're like, I just need it to be as easy as possible, I would go that route. But since sometimes it's about how much you're paying for it, we're going to go this route. So I hope you can hear me okay over the juicer. And this is my backup juicer because somehow we lost the auger to my $600 juicer, which is total crap. But this is a really wonderful juicer. If you're looking for one, it's an Omega. And juicers never look pretty after you've been using them for a while. They're like pretty, this builds up on them big time. Unless you're my mom and she washes hers and dries it every time she uses it. That's more than I can commit to. So yeah, so why would you want to do celery juice? Maybe you have I kind of feel like it's the beginner, the starting point to a lot of different healing things, because it it like impacts like the base of you, like your digestive system, and your liver, things like that. So it's like I started celery juice when I was having like digestive stuff. So it was like, hi Lucia, I'm happy you're here. So celery juice is good for helping raise your hydrochloric acid, which is what helps you digest your food. And when I was having my little digestive stuff, I went to the doctors and I was like, hey, like this is how I feel. I feel like my food's not digesting. Like it feels like it's just like I'm not getting my nutrients. Like I just feel like something's up, and also I had bad acid reflux at the same time. So it would make sense that you're like, hey, it's acidic. There's so much acidic stuff going on, but then they wanted me to do acid blockers, and I was like, that doesn't seem like a good idea. Like, our don't we need those juices to like digest our food? Does that make sense? And it does make sense, right? And so I was like, thank you for your information, and I will think about that. And I decided to not do the acid blockers. Eventually, I found celery juice, and it was with some skeptic attitude I had. And because I was like, that is like ridiculous. Like, I have to juice a whole thing of celery. Like, that just seems ridiculous. That seems like way too much. And, I was a little skeptic because I just finished my health coaching certification and I thought I knew everything. And they gave us so much information on every topic you can possibly think of when it comes to health, whether it's hormones or digestive issues or cardiac issues or energy, or I know there's a lot of other things, but I can't think of anything right now. But so all the like typical issues. I hate that there's typical issues, but there is. Like they're kind of predictable that people are dealing with, right? Even like anti-aging. So we had all these protocols, and I was quite certain I knew everything. And so when the celery juice idea came around, you better believe I was like, one, skeptical because it didn't fit into what I was already knowing, and two, because it wasn't like scientific, and it seemed like a pain in the ass to me. So I didn't really want to do it. So it took me a year before I did it. And you got to also know, like, why would you go ahead and finally do it? Well, because you really wanted to feel something different and you were ready to do something different. That's why. And also because I kind of learned more of information behind it. And I was like, all right, I'm doing celery juice. And so now here we are. I started celery juicing in 2018. So I've been doing it a very long time. I force feed it to Sophia, my daughter, who's 23. And sometimes she willingly wants it. She knows, like, when she's been out and doing her Taco Bell and all the things that she does that I just try not to see, she is like down for some celery juice. She knows the difference. She feels the difference. What it's going to do for you is help you digest your undigested fats and proteins. So can you imagine that for a minute? Imagine that you might have literally decades of undigested fats and proteins sitting in your system, rotting. Let's just imagine that for a minute. It causes all kinds of problems, It causes so many problems. This one is like this is also a meditation. Use like one celery at a time. That's why I like my other one, because it's faster, but this is very efficient at juicing. It gets the juice out. It's a masticating. So it's like turning it, it's like grinding it out versus like a high speed thing. So just know that it is like probably the best thing you can do for your celery. Just so you know, the highest nutrient way to do it is this guy. And it's like maybe $200 and something on Amazon, I think. But the other one I have is faster. Okay, side note. Yeah, so undigested fats and proteins sit in your intestines and cause a lot of problems, such as acid reflux, because it like creates this like toxic gas, which it totally makes sense. And if you've ever had digestive stuff, it's like that's how it feels too. You're like, what is happening? Like it hurts. It's like you're bloated. It's like you might be unpredictable. You could be like gassy. All these things are happening that don't feel good. You just feel like I'm not or maybe even feel like I'm not losing weight, or I'm just like holding on to, I'm puffy, I'm fluffy, I'm like stagnant. You can feel all that. And I'll tell you, you know, well, I won't tell you because that's just going to take us off onto another tangent. But so once you raise your hydrochloric acid, it's going to start breaking down your undigested foods. And yeah, some people find that they need to like be near a restroom. That was never like a thing. Like I never had any like severe reaction to it or anything like that. But some people are like, how can you drink that? And like not be. And it's like, oh, didn't really have that, but some people do. So that's just something to know. Some people could feel nauseous. Some people could feel a little cramping. Again, I didn't have any of those reactions. I started off with 16 ounces, which is the size of this. And that's what I used to do. Now I do at least this much, but sometimes more than this. It depends on my patience of how much celery I feel like juicing, because other people are drinking it too, so I have to juice a lot of celery in the morning. You want to drink it on an empty stomach. You want to wait at least 15 minutes after you've had any water, if you've had coffee, anything. You ideally kind of want to do it in the morning. You want to wait at least 15 minutes after before you have anything. And then now it's really full and it's going to overflow if I don't pour it out. So let me stop. Let's see, what else do you want to know about celery? Probably more than that. There's so much to know, really. Tell me, what are some of the symptoms you've been dealing with? What has been going on with your health? How have you been feeling? And maybe I can connect those dots for you. So you don't want to buy it already made, bottled. That's not going to cut it. You can't make it ahead very far. Like maybe last night I could have made it and drank it this morning, but anything beyond 24 hours is beyond its time of effectiveness, So the fresher, the better. You don't want to add anything to it. So no lemon, no ginger, no water. Because here's the thing, like this information gets diluted as it gets spread around on on our resources, or you hear it's like telephone, right? So I just want to make sure that like the details do matter. Like, yes, it's about progress over perfection. Yes, you got to start where you are. Yes, sometimes like certain things it's like this is the best I can do, and that's all good, but it's like you should know. But I want you to also know, because if you don't know, well, then you don't have the option to make that choice. So these are the things that you should know about celery juice if you want it to really truly help you. What you also might know or want to know, well, first of all, let me just show you. I'm going to grab this. I'm going to grab this if I can get it, maybe. Okay, so these are the books that, if you care, this is where the information originally came from, okay? So this book is called The Medical Medium: Secrets Behind Chronic and Mystery Illness and How to Finally Heal. And it is truly that. So like I was saying, like I was just getting out of health coaching certification, and I was pretty certain I knew everything there was to know about everything. And I was like feeling very like I was following certain podcasts, and like they were all very sciencey and things like that. So I was like, no, like this is what's true and this is what I know, and I'm like all about it and I've got it all figured out. Except that like I wasn't like feeling still as good as I should feel. So, obviously something wasn't quite working there, even though I was like doing a lot of the steps. So when this information came to me, I ignored it for a year. So when I got this recommendation, like, you know what you should do? You should really check out celery juice. Listen to the Medical Mediums podcast. And I was like, Okay. Yeah, thank you. Anyways, a year later, I was cleaning out the garage and I decided I was trying to find something to listen to amuse me while I did it. And I came across that it was in my digital library there, my little um, audio. And I um, decided, what the heck? Might as well just throw it on there. I'm in my little health coaching phase and I am down to kind of like learn as much as I can possibly learn. So I was like really loved geeking out on anything health related. And I threw this book on, and I will tell you that I never went back from then on. So, like, this book changed my life, like, completely changed my life, like, enough to where the impact of this information, like, all that I was so sure of, like, I was like, it was like, it was a little bit of like it was a hard moment because it was like, oh no, like, what do I do? This is what I just got educated on and spent money and time on, and it's like felt worthless. Like it felt completely worthless to me. Like I was might as well have taken all those protocols from all those doctors who knew it all, those special people, and thrown it in the garbage. That's how worthless it felt in light of information that was like true and made sense. Like it made sense. It like rung so deeply in me. Like, oh my God. Like, yes, like 100%. That is what feels right. Like this, like how do we get so over here in confusion and make it so complicated? And it's not that complicated. It's like, anyways, so I don't know what to tell you. All I know is that's where the information comes from. I have to tell you that because you got to know the true source, and to be able to fully use it in a way that's going to help you, because otherwise you get skewed information and you're using it and you think you are doing it and you're not. So anyways, I still drink it to this day because it's always necessary. It's like, for my 45 years, this is probably going to be a mess, and I would go to the sink, but it's over there and you're over here. In my 45 years of life, the majority of my years of life, cheers, have been not eating very great, like not applying healing tools. Okay. So now I have information about what foods heal, how foods heal, and it makes like so much sense. Like, of course foods heal. We were born on this planet with these foods at hand, and of course they freaking heal us. Like, are you kidding? That makes so much sense. And of course there's a reason why we're not well. Like, I knew to the core. Of course there's a reason you're not well. Like, it's not just because you're unlucky. It's not because your body sucks. It's not because it's just like the cards you were dealt. It isn't. There's a reason. There is a reason why we're having symptoms. And like sometimes I think we accept them way too early. Like we're like, oh well, I'm 45, I must be just like getting old and all that. And like, yeah, I know there's some things I like have passed the point of being able to maybe like reverse to my liking. Like aging is a fun one to kind of think about because when you're younger, you've got literally like your youth. Hold on. So I haven't had anything before this. I did earlier today because I was out the door and I needed a banana, but then I waited my 15 minutes. I waited a lot longer. I'm grabbing my celery juice a little later in the day than I usually do, but I'll wait. I'll drink this up and then I'll wait at least 15 minutes before I eat my next thing. But just know the details. Know the details. So yeah. So anyways, like whatever I was saying, I don't remember, but basically, it makes a lot of sense. Like that. Um, there's reasons. That was something like I deep down knew, like even when my kids were little, like babies, and taking them in and doing all the things that were protocol, but there's so much of it that did not resonate with me, and I was not confident enough to be able to say, hey, that's not what I'm going to do. Like I'm going to do it differently. Like that doesn't, but some things I did, but, um, now, I, feel like, oh, see, I had that feeling for a reason. Makes sense. Hmm? Okay. So yeah. Okay. Celery juice. If you haven't checked out this medical medium book, check it out. Listen to it on audio. I recommend, and get the hard copy, because then you can look inside. And when you look inside, there's recipes, and there's actually celery juice in here, so that's why that. But then there's actually a whole book that is all about celery juice and all the ways. And so what I did was scratched the surface, barely, like nipped it, as far as like what this does. And when you Google celery juice, it'll specifically be like, you know, this isn't, according to professionals, that's not true, or according, science has not proven any of it, right? So if you look up Google, and if that's where you get your information, God help you. But if you do, or chat, even chat, like guess what? Chat does not know everything. Like chat's just is Google. It's just a more, it's getting the same information. So it's like, anyways, so that's just kind of funny. But what you should know is, yeah, there science, why nobody wants to pay to prove this? Like, why no one makes money? Like, science is driven by funding. So until there's somebody who wants to fund all that research, um there has not been the research. Basically, the research goes into the things that are going to make people tons of money. And then they've got so much money behind pushing that product and pushing that information out there, so that, that's right. You see how that goes? And so I'm sorry, but like me buying a case of celery for like 25 bucks is like, no one's going to get rich off this celery. So that's the thing, just to take into consideration. It has never been proven wrong, because really it hasn't been studied like that. And the reason, what you'll know is, you'll know what you know because you've done it, because you've tried it, because you've had the experience. And I recommend celery with clients. Some of them get the chance to do it, some of them don't, but the ones that do, they love their celery. They notice a difference when they aren't able to have it for some reason. You're cleaning out your body, like you're helping your body. Well, I mean, yes, it's hydrating, yes, all that, but it's like there's so much, like, more, whether it's like it if you have pathogen in there, like celery, like diffuses it, right? Like it destroys it, right? Like this is, so there's like, and again, check the book out. I don't have to know everything about it, because I just like have been doing it, and I know why I'm doing it. I'm doing it for, like, I like the raising the hydrochloric acid. It's getting our bile production is very deteriorated because of our, yeah, environmental life, the stress that it's hard to digest when you're under stress like that. It makes your bile and your digestive power like not strong. It makes it weak. It's So then we're just like, we're not assimilating our nutrients under this like stressful lives. We're in fight or flight. We're always reacting. We're caffeinated. We're having diets that are super high fat, high protein, and to your liver, that's like uh, creates a strain on it, right? So there's all these conditions that make this situation what it is. And at that time when I found celery, I was like super high fat, high protein, and wondering why I hit a wall, basically, of like not feeling good. So there you go. So that tells you a little bit about it. And I just look forward to, look how pretty it is. Isn't it beautiful? And does it taste good? Sometimes. Mm, but okay. So I don't know. I hope that helped. I hope that did something for you. I hope that made you want to try celery, or at least got you curious. If there was like one call of action I could recommend if you're not ready to do celery juice, well, one, you could go order some at Whole Foods at the juice bar, something like that. You can go try that. um, then you can and see like what happens if you do it for a week, and like maybe you check out the medical medium book. There's like a bunch of books. If you wanted to get one book, the book I would recommend, just if you want like more cleansing and you're like whatever, just like give me the protocols, I would probably go with Cleanse to Heal. Cleanse to Heal is a really good one. um and I don't know, like not everybody can believe in things that they don't understand. I am somebody who believes in magic, right? Like I believe in things, meaning like I believe in things I don't always understand, and I believe in things that don't always make sense, like practically, but I'm not like I don't think I'm like so out there, but I do believe like that there's more than this. I do believe there's more than this. I believe um that just like there's more than we see, that there's a lot more than we see. I believe in a soul that is like in this bodies. I believe in a higher power, and I feel like that's just important to know because just of where my come from is, and like maybe that's different than what you believe, but I hope that it's still that you'll still be open to trying something that you know works for a lot of people, and it's not like this is the only thing, like it's not just one and done. It's like you know it depends on what you're bringing. It depends on what you've got going on. um, could this be the one thing you do and it makes a huge difference? Totally. But is it always? Absolutely not. Like some people, like I said, I've had, the majority of my life and years have been unhelpful. So you got to know that, like, at what point does it tip and become like where you're really restoring? Like at first it's just like cleaning and clearing, and to be able to get to the point of actually healing and restoring, it's got to take some time for some people, depending on where you're at, depending on what you've got to clean up first. It's like you do your surface cleaning around the house or whatever, and then you've got your deep cleaning, and before things actually get to turn that corner and actually, because your bodies are made to heal, like they're designed that way naturally. You see what happens if you get like a scrape and you get sick and you get better, and they're made to heal. And if it's not healing, there's a reason behind it, there's something behind it, there's something preventing that. And so that's what I hope to be able to bring, is some more of that insight. And that's what that book will help you understand, is like there's a reason why, it's not just you're unlucky. And you know what, like I know some people don't want to hear that, which is okay, whatever. Like don't, okay, fine, like that's your experience of life, that's how you want to do it. But in Be Well and Rise in this space, like know that like I believe in our ability to heal. And that's what I'm here to share. Like I'm here to share my experience with that, my loved ones experience with that in some cases, people I know, the information I'm learning, what I'm applying all the time to my day in and day out life. Like that's what I'm here to bring. So I believe in magic, and that's what I'm calling it. What things we can't always understand for sure and like don't see, and it's like, you know, that's more that meets the eye. Is that how you say that? So that's where it comes from. Because this information from this book is coming from a higher source. Like it's coming from a spiritual source. So know that. But I know plenty of people who use the information and kind of don't even like tap into that at all. Like they're just like eat that way and they're using all the protocols, but they kind of don't want much to do with the spiritual aspect of it. And so you don't have to be that way to use it and to actually see results in the information. but I do believe it's here to help us. I believe it's here to um, help us, not go quickly down a road of just a lot more sick and unwell. I think it's very common right now that a lot of people aren't having a lot of trust in conventional. And I think there's a time and a place. I know some people want nothing to do with conventional, they want nothing to do with big farm, and all that. And like, I totally get it. And I think it's a good thing to like question, and a good thing to like pull your head up and be like, whoa, like, what are we doing here with that? Because you're right. Like, it's not there to prevent you from aging rapidly and getting deteriorating, getting sick. So we need this. We need this information. We need to know this so that we can ultimately take care of ourselves in this lifetime and help ourselves and our loved ones, and like, you know, defend ourselves. Not to sound so dramatic, but defend ourselves. I personally see it as an act of empowerment. It's my, like, taking back my health and knowing I have what I need, and knowing that like I understand it to a place where I feel like I can heal. Like, if there's something that comes up, I'm not scared, right? Like, that is like the best feeling. And I know most people don't have that feeling. They're walking around terrified. And, if they have a diagnosis, they're scared. And I'm not saying I wouldn't be scared, or I'm not scared ever, or anything like that. But for the most part, like, I see a path to wellness, like, even when we're super not well. So I want to be able to, I want to share that with you. I want to share that hope with you. And the funniest thing, I was in a group, a mom's group, and I shared that hope with someone. Like, it was like just kind of classic. I got like absolutely attacked. So it was just kind of funny, but it's funny to me at this point. But at the time, I kind of wanted to kill somebody. But, it's like I am a human, and I'm like, what the heck? Like, don't tell me who I can give hope to, lady. It was like I was very feeling, but and I didn't say anything. I kept it in control. But I really did feel like, wow, like how different this feels to be around, like, whatever, I guess, like, non-believers of hope. Is that what that is? They're just like, no, that is like, don't give her hope. Like, okay, you're right, I won't. But guess what? If you're here, I'm going to share so much hope here. So deal with it, or don't be here, pretty much, right? Because, like, I don't know what to tell you. That's part of me. Like, that I believe in our ability to heal, and I will fucking fight for it. And I will fight for your healing. Like, I totally believe it. And you know, I know that there's conditions, and I know that there's circumstances, and I know that there's obstacles, and I know all of that. And I just want to say, like, whatever, we all have to have a place to heal. And I hope that you get to find your path, you know, here or somewhere. But um, ultimately, that's all it's about, is getting on our individual paths to healing. And I have a feeling that a lot of us will be on similar paths, because I think this is going to make more and more sense, especially as time goes by and you're watching people, you know, not, you're watching people get sick, and you're watching people have more and more of these diagnoses that are getting more and more common, and we're, kind of blaming the same things over and over again, and looking for answers, and in the confusion and in the chaos of it all. And I feel like this is a safe place. I mean, not just be, where are we be well and rise, not just that, but I feel like in this um, health information, it's a place that I keep getting to go back to. I keep, like, oh, what's the trend? Oh, we're doing, what's everyone doing? Like, everyone's talking about this, and what do you think about this? And what do you think about that? And then I'm like, I don't know, let me think. What do I think about it? And then I'm like, what is it? Go back to the information. Okay, now I know it's like this. I cross-reference everything with these books. They're like massive textbooks. There's so much to know, so much to learn, so much to have, but it's all like consistent. It doesn't change. So I've gotten to like be off the freaking roller coaster for a while now, and it's nice. It feels good to be off the roller coaster and just to go back to what makes sense, back to this, and that this is truth to me. So there. That's all. I guess that's all. This is longer than I wanted to do this because I was like, Sandy, you are gonna babble. I know it, and I was gonna try really hard to be under 30 minutes, and here we are, 40 minutes. That's not that bad. All right, so let me awkwardly say goodbye. It's time to cut it off. And thank you so much for stopping by. And maybe we'll do this again next Friday around the same time. So be on the lookout for that. And if you do have anything you want to bring to the table here, you want to bring to the conversation, please do. I welcome it. And I would love to hear from you. I just really would love to hear from you and just see what would be valuable and what would be helpful for your healing path. Yeah, and let me know if you're going to try the celery. Try the celery juice. I know it's a lot, but if you have any digestive issues or anything that's going to trace back to your liver, which could be weight, it could be so many things, skin conditions, you know, everything pretty much eventually ends up back to your liver, but then you're going to want this. So this is one of the most important things that I do for my health and for my like assurance to like how am I gonna, how am I gonna not get old and sick? That's all. And one just little quick thing, and I'm really saying bye, but like that was the thing is I see like in my youth I had my youth because you're just young and you just only had so many years. Some people don't have that. Some actually people are not well in their youth, but you had your youth. Then it's totally up to us. Then it's literally like now it's really your decisions are really going to have a lot to do with from here on out, right? Like, and that's what I mean. Like you might get to my age and older and you're just kind of waking up to the information and trying to utilize healing tools, and it's like how good can it get? How well can I be? How good can I feel? Like, what if I'm totally supporting my body? What if I'm totally supporting my organs? What if I'm not only like, you know, identifying what's the root cause, but then I'm like, doing the things I need to do to defend my body and to keep my immune system up. And so I'm not getting these things. And then turn that corner to actually like anti-aging, to like restoring. Like that's an interesting thought. And I think when you're 20 or something and 25, I'm like, dude, you would take like that fast to clean up because you've only been, you know, troublemaker, doing all the troublemakers for so long. Like you've only been stressing it for a shorter amount of time. Like we've stressed it double that time. And your cleanup would be fast. And then your like glow up would be so massive and quick. And like you really would have your whole life to like live in your glow up. Does that make any sense? Like that's like I guess that's the corner I'm talking about, like the glow up corner. There's a corner. There's like a I'm not well. I feel crappy. I'm trying to feel better. I'm sick. I'm trying to get better, and that can be a long time sometimes. It's like like the getting better and healing and trying to get better. It could be a long time, and it could be ugly. It could be messy. It could be like I feel worse sometimes, and this is happening now. This is turning up, right? It's not just like a better and better and better thing. And then you get like your glow up period. That's what I'm talking about. So, okay, enough. Happy to be here. Look forward to being here again. Let me know what you took away from today. And I hope it was something good. And bye for now.